What's up, everyone? I'm Toby, and this is Silver Fox Disc Golf coming at you. Yeah, so I'm coming at you from my trunk. It's fall in the Pacific Northwest. I'm wearing long undies. I got some new clothes for waterproofedness that I'm gonna show you. And it's a little rainy, cloudy with some breaks of sunlight. That's what you get in the fall in Seattle. So if you wanna get better at your disc golf game, you just gotta get the gear. Picked up this nice pullover waterproof coat, super lightweight. This ought to keep me dry. Picked up a pair of pants. Not super fashionable, but again, they'll keep me dry. Oh, you might be noticing something new. Check out what I scored on my birthday. It was a super awesome birthday this year. It was a disc golf birthday. I got a ton of cool stuff. I'm gonna do a whole separate video about that, but I'm gonna bring that to you, check it out, and guess what? My birthday means Silver Fox Disc Golf is at 6 months. I've been playing for just about 6 months, and it's time for me to think about what's next. So tune in. I'm gonna do a new video, hopefully launch it next week, to tell you all what's in store for the next 6 months. So what do we got today? Well, first, I got a stack of Innova discs that I picked up at the factory store from my friend Mike. He had a large order to put in, and I gotta tell you, my favorite disc is this Cheetah. Thanks Nathan and team at Innova for helping us with this tremendous haul. But today I got something new. These are actually the first 3 discs I got to do a 3-disc challenge, and they've sat on my floor as I've gotten new discs, and I wanted to try new things, and I've been thinking about building a bag. So I've got these really awesome discs from Lone Star Disc Golf. I'm pretty excited about these. I picked these up back in July, so I've had them for a while, and I'm excited to play them today. So we're gonna do 9 holes and check out each of these 3 discs. Let's take a look. First, we got the Benny. It's their current beaded putter, and I like it. It feels good. It reminds me of Mint's Bullet. It's got a really small micro bead, so I don't really feel it. I don't know if I'm gonna like that or not, but I'm gonna check it out. I think it's a beautiful disc. I'm looking forward to throwing it. Next up is a special stamp Lone Ranger. Super excited about this disc, 5-speed. I will say it feels a little interesting. It's kind of concave under the rim here, and it feels interesting in hand. I don't know, it doesn't feel perfectly comfortable. We're gonna check it out. Last but not least, the 7-speed, the Guadalupe. Excited to check this one out too. Love the plastic on this, love the look and feel. Again, a little concave in the rim there. Gonna see how this flies. So let's head out, check out these 3 discs, 9 holes, let's see what we can do. Hole 1's 291 feet across the super full pond. Lots of wildlife up there in the trees. Let's give the Guadalupe a try. That was a great throw. Felt super good. Hit a tree, landed safe, not in the water. Let's go check it out. All right, well, not an ideal position. Where's the basket? Huh. That's all right. Basket's right up there. I'm gonna throw this Guadalupe again, forehand. You guys know it's not my forte, but this is the shot that I have. So I'm just gonna try to get it up there close so I can make a putt. Try to get this Benny close. I think I gotta try to putt it. Not ideal to start with a bogey. Great flight on that Guadalupe. Just hit that tree, which is what happens on hole 1 here at Ralphie. So let's try to redeem ourselves. Maybe we can get a stroke back with this Lone Ranger. Let's get the Benny close. Hit it. Boom! Yes! Hole 3, 258. Through the tunnel to the left. Gonna go with the Guadalupe. Let's see if it's got a nice little finish on it. Super dead straight, which is great. Got through the tunnel. Gonna have a long second shot. This new iPhone 15 has this little bar that tells you when it's perfectly horizontal. Never quite get it to stay there. Hole 4, 312 into the hole 4, 312 into the cove. I'm gonna try to get it there with the Guadalupe. Basket's just on the other side of the bush. Let's go up and around with the Benny. That's a good par. Par's tough on this hole. Don't know what my average score is on this hole. I'll put it right down here. I'm guessing it's, above 3.5, maybe even above 3.5, because bogey is happens here, right? You get caught up in that bush, you get caught up here. It can be a tough hole. So that's a good par. We're even, made up a stroke, which is nice. Liking these discs so far. Never mind the hand feel, they're throwing well. I got it level. Hole 5, 297, basket's right behind this tree here. Hi, tree. Gonna go with this, the Guadalupe. I think a full throw would be too much. This is downhill. This probably plays more like 260. So I'm gonna try gentle, maybe a little bit of Anheuser. See if we can get a nice sweep down there. Hopefully you could see it. Had a little bit of Anheuser on it. Fought out, faded at the end. So I'm guessing I'm 80 feet from the basket. I like that throw though. That felt really good. Got a shot. Gonna have to do a weird turnaround thing. Try to throw this Benny up there. Let's get close. Or maybe like we did on hole 2. It's my favorite shot on the course. I've never missed. 409 feet, way out there past the tree, my nemesis. I'm on the fence about what disc to use after throwing that Guadalupe on 5 and seeing it kind of fight out of that turn. So we're gonna go with the Lone Ranger and see if it stays in the turn, because that's where you really need to end up, is kind of out in the grass over in this area. The bad news, it didn't go where I wanted it. The good news, it got through and I'll have a look, but man, this is gonna be a long second shot. Remember, for me, bogey's par. Not bad, kind of close to this tree. I have a long second shot, but I think I actually give myself something to aim at out in, way out over here. Let's see. Get through. Yes. That's a perfect throw. I'm not unhappy with this for my bogey look. Remember, for me, bogey's par on this hole. Not a great first shot, a really good second shot, and I have a straight look at the basket for my approach here. Feel pretty good about that. Hole 7, 309, way back behind that far tree. The goal here is to make it through this gap. I'm gonna go with this Lone Ranger again. I like how that flew off the tee at 6, even though gotta let it go a little bit early. I feel like it wants to fly really straight. It's got the same flight numbers as a Hex, I believe. The Hex feels like it's stable to me, maybe slightly understable. This so far is flying, I would say, slightly under to stable. Neutral? Maybe you guys can correct me on my nomenclature. Let's see what we got. That, friends, is OB. That path, darn it. Felt good. I let it go a little bit of hyzer and it held it. Not the disc's fault. All right, I dropped it there. I'm not gonna be horribly upset with that. Yeah, it's a stroke, but a little bit lower release, a little bit flatter. I'd have been okay. You can see the Guadalupe right here. It stayed in bounds, which is nice. Note to self. All right, let's get the Benny close. Hole 8, 350 up into the cove. I've been throwing a wild honey here, 12 speed, so, and I get close to the cove. Gonna go with the Guadalupe again. I'm gonna start it off a little bit right over here and see if it doesn't just fade right into that opening for me. Give us a nice Benny into the basket. That's as good as I can throw that shot. That Guadalupe just held a straight, tight line, little tiny bit of fade at the end. In fact, not as much as I was hoping, so I'm a little bit down from the opening, but we'll see when we get up there. I think I've got an easy par opportunity here. This is a great shot. I can't really ask for much more on this hole. I mean, would I like to be up there by that bush closer to the basket? Yeah, sure. But I'm not, and that's fine. This is a great shot, giving me a good, workable distance to get close enough to get a par on this hole. Best to stay below the hole on this hill. I've rolled all the way back down here and turned a par into a double bogey pretty quick. I'm loving that Benny as a 50 to 75 foot approach. Little anhyzer on it, kind of settled in, just stopped right beside the basket. I like that disc. I gotta say, actually, I'm pretty much liking all these discs so far. So good job, Lone Star. Silver Fox Disc Golf, part of the Cool Daddy Disc Golf family. Hole 9, 243, up there past the tree. Getting past that tree is a great shot. Getting to it is still a pretty darn good shot. Short with a look, I'll take. After that last tee shot on 8, man, there's some big drops of rain coming down. I'm gonna go with the Guadalupe. Try to start it out over here to the right, get it up in that gap. That's a good shot. Well, the safe shot is to keep it low and just park it around the basket, so I should probably do that. There's a little line up over that branch. I'd probably hit it. Hey beginners, take the smart shot. It's fun to try to be crazy and, oh, I could probably make that shot. We ain't pros. Take the smart, safe shot, take your par, and walk away. Here we are at hole 10. It's 250 right down to there, so I like to throw here. I mean, we'll call it an ace run. I mean, I've gotten close to the basket. Preliminary thoughts? I like these. This is a pretty good round. one over. I had that great birdie on 2. Probably could have made up a stroke somewhere. Had the bogey on 6, that's standard. The bogey on 1 kind of sucks. When I'm done, I'm gonna play that hole again to see if I can get a 3 with these 3 discs, and I'll just make a little note at the end. But so what did I think of the Lone Star discs? I really liked them. I thought they threw really well. I mostly threw the Guadalupe and the Benny. Didn't get many throws with the Lone Star, but what I did, I really liked. So I guess there's 2 likes and 1 definite bag. So let's talk about them in that order. The Guadalupe. This is a great 7-speed. I really like it, and I talked a little bit about him being a little uncomfortable in the hand with that concave lower part of the rim there. I didn't notice it at all. Once I got into the groove of throwing it, I felt really comfortable throwing it. It had a nice, predictable finish at the end. I guess I would call it a stable 7-speed. Now, am I going to bag it? Well, I have a lot of 7-speeds, and currently I've built a bag that I'm going to be introducing to you all, my first full bag as a disc golfer. So I don't know if it fits in there or not. We'll see. I do want to throw it more. I really liked it. I love the feel of this plastic, and it looks really good. So would I recommend this disc for a beginner? Yes. I think for lower arm speeds, it's going to have a little more overstability. But for me, today, I felt like it threw stable, if not slightly understable at times. And it was a really good disc for me to throw. I really liked it. I was really comfortable with it. And I think it's a definite must check out. Next up, the Texas Ranger. Okay, I'm sorry, Lone Star. I called it the Lone Star the whole time I was playing. And then I thought, wait, is it the Lone Ranger? And then I thought, no, that's not it. It's not riding silver around. And I couldn't remember for the life of me what it was, because as you can see, there's no name on this disc. So apologies for calling you the wrong name, Mr. Disc. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me? So what about the Texas Ranger? Well, it's a 5.5 -1.1, just like the Hex, but I don't think it flies quite like the Hex. I found it to be pretty neutral, if not slightly stable, and a pretty predictable disc. But if you watch the video, you'll see I didn't actually throw it that often. So can I get some better feedback on it and see if it's a disc I like? Absolutely. And I think I'll try it out. But again, the 5-speed spot in my bag is pretty packed. So I'm gonna have to find a way to work it in, but I do wanna check it out. The one knock on this disc for me is that lower rim, that beveled edge just feels a little strange in my hand. But if it throws well, who cares? So I like this disc. I'm gonna throw it a few more times. I'm probably not gonna bag it, but I'll take it out for a round or 2 here and there. I might let someone borrow it. It's a good disc. Now, as a beginner, do I recommend this over a Hex or an MD1 or something like that? Probably not. I think there's a bunch more higher quality, more predictable 5-speeds out there that you'll likely check out and enjoy more. I would definitely recommend starting with the Hex or the MD1, or for fun, try the Berry from Clash. The Texas Ranger is a great disc. You ought to check it out. Just be aware, it might feel a little different in your hand. And finally, the Benny. Wow. First of all, look at this disc. I think it's beautiful. The plastic feels really nice. It's got a little bit of bend to it, but it threw really well. I mean, really well. You saw that putt on 2 that I made, kind of throwing it in from, I'd say 65, 70 feet. And I had some really great approach shots on the entire front 9. I didn't love it as a putter though. As you can see, it has a bead, but it is a very, very small bead. I guess you call it a micro bead. So for me, putting with it was just okay, but approach shots were amazing. Now I've got a West Side Crown in my bag right now, and this is gonna replace it. It's a little more overstable, slightly stable to overstable, but I really threw this well today, and I am loving it. I just talked to my friend Christian about it, and he said a buddy of his plays it all the time and loves it. So if Christian says that, he can't be wrong. So I'm putting this in my bag. I love this disc. I recommend you check it out. I recommend you check it out as an approach disc, but see if you like it as a putter. I also picked up a penny while I was there. I haven't thrown it yet. Keenan used it a couple times to putt, and he really loved it. But I'm going to take it out based on how well I like throwing the Benny. that bead is super, super unnoticeable. So again, it's just an approach disc. And if that's an approach disc, this is an approach disc, I might as well try them both out. If it flies anything like the Benny does, the penny may make my bag as well. Well, maybe one or the other. So overall, I was really impressed with the Lone Star discs. I know there's some noise out there about them. I don't keep up with that kind of stuff. So for me, I don't really care. Read up if you want, make your own decisions, but I recommend checking their discs out. I think they're really cool. I think you'd like them as a beginner, and I like them, and I'm gonna bag some of them. So thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to. Check out the discount below at Cool Daddy Disc Golf, and thanks for tuning in.